Welcome to the Blue Garage.
Welcome back to the Blue Garage.
Welcome to the Blue Garage. Welcome to the Blue Garage, guys. I am Greg. Welcome back to the Blue Garage, guys. I am Greg, and today is our 1-year anniversary that Daniel and I have been working together. A lot has changed over the last year. Our first video shoot was October 5th. He quickly got that edit done. Our first video post was October 6th. So technically tomorrow will be Monday, but we don't post videos on Mondays typically here. So October 5th celebrates our 1 year working together. In that time frame, the ZR2 has changed drastically. So go back, just watch that video, and obviously everything in between, but look at where the truck was on October 5th of last year compared to where it is today. Drastically night and day different. Couldn't have done everything that we've done together on my own. Over the course of the last year, we only missed 8 weeks of posting videos. Meaning we posted 44 full-length videos in 52 weeks. That's insanity. Not to mention there was months where I posted every single day, I believe from November 1st all the way until May 1st. So that was a toll in itself. So looking at the truck, looking down at my phone here, just looking at some of the videos that we did, it's miraculous to think that, you know, we did not have a lift. We did not have wheels and tires. We didn't have the hood, the carbon fiber hood. We didn't have any of the LED lights on the outside. We didn't have the Switch Pros. All this stuff that I'm saying is stuff that all was accomplished within the last year and much, much more. Guys, make sure you guys go back, watch those videos, like those videos, share those videos. I'm sure by now, by the time this video post, we're going to be well past 5,000 subscribers. So huge shout out to you guys. Huge thank you to you guys for helping the channel grow, because I couldn't have done it without each and every one of you. My 4-year YouTube anniversary was September 17th already. And to think that I've been doing this now 2 years with one truck, 2 years with another truck, the ZR2 now. So Big Blue made it 2 years before succumbing to the 2 accidents in Houston, both the day before a cruise. If you aren't familiar with that story, again, go back even further and check those videos out. That truck had the Ready Lift SST lift on it. We decided to go bigger and better with the Peak Suspension Summit Kit on the ZR2. Love it, rides great. I drive this thing hard out in the desert and I have a blast, and it's my daily driver. Most recently, huge update for you guys. Before a trip in August, I was off-roading with my daughter to go around the train tracks because the train was blocking and stopped dead over the road. So a quick little detour, get around the traffic, have a little fun off-roading. And back in November, December, so 10 months prior, I had dropped a 10mm socket down into my engine bay. Not thinking. I obviously dug through the engine bay. I could not find it. I was like, it'll fall out. Well, it sure as hell did. It launched out. I hit a bump a little too hard. It felt fine in the truck, but it dislodged from wherever it had been sitting before, right through my radiator fan, into my radiator, causing the radiator to leak, all a day or two before a trip back home to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And yeah. I dropped it off with the Chevy dealer after having it towed there. $3,500 later, I had to get the radiator replaced, all the fluids flushed. I just decided, hey, you know what, $3,500, that way I have a vehicle by the time I land back home. Might as well get it all done. So a $3,500, or $4,000 if you count the 2 rental cars that I had to and from the airport, which is 2.5 hour drive from Yuma to Phoenix and back on either side. $4,000 later, that's a $4,000 10mm socket. The Chevy still owes me. They didn't even have the courtesy to put it in my cup holders. What the heck? But I was so frustrated when this happened that I decided you know what? I'm not even going to take out my range technology DFM disabler. I'm going to risk it. I'm going to see if they notice. That way I can report back to you what they said, if they said anything. Now, let's keep in mind, this is going to be a case-by-case basis. My specific scenario, they didn't even notice. They didn't say anything. They complimented my truck. They said, wow, this thing rides amazing. It sounds incredible. You have an awesome truck. You know, everything I heard whenever I picked it up. However, they did not mention anything with the ECU, anything with the range technology DFM disabler. So big win there for me. Obviously taking a huge risk because I'm only at 29,759 miles right now, to be exact. Not even close to my 36,000 mile bumper to bumper or the 100,000 mile powertrain warranty, which we're going to talk about too. So I was running a huge risk by keeping that in there, but I was like, you know what? Let's try it. Back to that powertrain warranty, that 100,000 miles. We all know, I made a video, the L87 engine recall, the V8 engine 6.2 engine recall from General Motors for Silverado, Sierra, Tahoe, Suburban, Escalade, Denali, you name it. Yukon, I mean, big recall, right? So by leaving the DFM disabler in there, I was running the risk of that not being covered. Ooh, that would have been a huge oopsie, you know? That would have been a mistake. But I ran the risk, made it out of there scar-free. I even brought it up to them. Hey, would you guys mind checking on the recall information on my truck? Running the code, seeing if it pops up, and correcting that or starting that fix while I was gone. The dealership themselves actually told me, they said, no, we don't even have the letter yet. Once you receive the letter, then and only then can you get the fix done. So I'm still waiting. They wouldn't even do the oil swap to 0W40 instead of 0W20. I'm going to do it on my own here to 0W20 one last time at 30,000 miles, which, you know, a little less than 250 miles from now. And the next one beyond that, I guess, will be on them. Hopefully 0W40 or a brand new engine starting at zero, so to speak. A lot has happened with the channel, everything from the suspension to the pod lights, the pod holes, I should say, the ditch lights, the S2 chase lights. If you want those brackets, I have 55 of them in stock for you guys. Get them now before they're all gone. More will be coming in, of course, but you don't want to have to wait. They're in there now. Order them now. Go to my website, the-blue-garage.com. Scroll down a little bit, click on the chase light brackets, and get your set. I'll have it mailed out the very next day just for you. We threw on the ditch lights. We did some Amazon reviews. A lot of products that I have are from Amazon. A couple of off-roading videos. Laguna Hills roller coaster. We did 2 of those, and then 2 in Ocotillo. Obviously, the range DFM disabler. Huge shout out to them because they enjoyed that video so much. They offered to send out the amped 2.0 throttle booster, which I love. That thing's awesome. I have it set on 3, which I believe is 125% throttle, or 150% actually throttle boost. Night and day difference with that thing. Got to get yours. Discount code is down in the links below. Then we obviously did the OEM extinguishers. Added some blue back there. The Rapid Blue extinguisher, custom from OEM extinguishers, and the custom logos from 404 Parts, that Rapid Blue. Super grateful for everybody that supported the channel. The Trex T300 off-road wheels, amazing. And last but not least, we also did the PPF window tint, the ceramic window tint, I should say. PPF on the hood, ceramic window tint on the windows with wrap stars. And let me tell you this, it's 100+ degrees out here all the time in Yuma, especially over the summer. Drastically cooler with less wattage, or solar heat, I should say, not wattage, getting in and cooking us in the interior of this vehicle. So love everything that I've done to the truck so far. Next projects that I have in line for you guys, we have the carbon fiber fenders and bedsides from Fiberworks. Super stoked for that. I feel like I've been telling you guys about this for months now. It's just all about getting the the install lined up with them and working that out. Nothing on anybody's fault or problem or whatever. This is all just something, just trying to get our schedules to work so we can do a shoot instead of just an install and a reveal. So we can shoot that for you guys here soon. And after that, I think we're looking at the rear bumper, another JJ Fab project. So we'll have to see what he has up his sleeve for us there. We did the pre-runner front bumper with JJ Fab. Also coming up, we have the brackets for the light bar behind the grill. If you watch that video, at the end of that video, we put the light bar in, however, it doesn't sit exactly where we want it. Those brackets are made for just a regular Silverado or a Trail Boss or anybody that wants to put one in other than the ZR2. It's going to line up perfectly with those slots on the bottom of the grill. However, the ZR2 grill is different, so it doesn't line up very well. Needless to say, he's an artist. He's going to do a lot more with the truck here soon, including the rear bumper and potentially rock rails down the road. So I know JJ's going to hook it up. He always does. He is a magician, and again, super grateful for him. So I want to wrap it up, guys. Quick little podcast video. Decided to do it in the truck. Got the AC blowing on me. Feels good. It's 104 degrees. Otherwise, I'd be sweating to death right here for you guys. So thanks for tuning in. Make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, share with your friends. And if you missed anything that I talked about today, go back, check it out. Tell me what you think. Get in the comments below. Let me know what your favorite mod was that I did over the last year. See you guys next time. Take care.